North America is a wild place, home to all sorts of creatures, some friendly and others not so much. It is from this land that we can tell the story of some of the most cunning and resourceful predators on Earth. They're not afraid to target prey much larger than themselves, and their incredible speed, agility, and adaptability allows them to hunt creatures that many other predators simply can't catch. Today's episode brings us closer to those skills of nature that are very few and far in between. Hello friends, your time is important and it is great that you decided to spend it here with us on this new and fascinating exploration. The star of today's video is none other than that of the coyote, the cleverest of all predators. At first glance, the behavior of a coyote might not seem all that distinct from a fox. They also skillfully hunt small rodents, deftly extracting them from beneath the snow with uncanny precision thanks to their exceptional hearing. In the summer, these opportunistic canids are also not averse to snacking on insects, because readily available protein is never superfluous for a skilled and hard-at-work hunter. Voles, mice, and other small rodents still play a crucial role in the lives of these solitary hunters, who rely on a combination of stealth and lightning-fast reflexes to pounce on their unsuspecting prey and enclose them within their powerful jaws. But still, its more substantial size, which is much closer to a wolf than it is a fox, compared to a fox significantly expands the predator's capabilities and therefore their prey selection. Therefore, while the coyote is adept at catching smaller quarry, it is also bold enough to challenge substantially larger and more formidable ungulates, creatures that outweigh it by several times and possess an impressive array of defenses. This is a truly speedy predator, and some sources claim to be able to measure their speed as upwards to 60 kilometers per hour, but the American pronghorn are easily able to outmaneuver them, being the fastest animal in all of North America. A coyote has no chance against a healthy and able runner. The coyote is interested in bison as well, and while they may be great and impossible to take down, the coyote will look out for their offspring. Of course, the calves are noticeably heavier than the coyote, but it does not miss the chance to test the animal's strength in case someone gets sick or is left without a mother. Giant bison typically do not pay much attention to the persistent hunter, and he makes full use of this nonchalance. He also uses this by getting closer and trying to determine where the strength lies and where they may be hurting, the goal of which is to give the predator a chance at a meal. Yum. But in doing this also exposes itself to danger, as the bison mother may not want the small creature nearby and will defend to the death. Baby deer are also worthy of attention, offering a potentially easier meal than hulking bison calves. In winter, the coyote must be exceptionally resourceful to survive the harsh conditions, and they are true masters of unconventional food acquisition, leaving no stone unturned in their relentless search for sustenance. While other animals make their lives easier through cunning and agility, the coyote will simply persevere and do what it must to live another day. At this time of year, otters seem to be much more comfortable, since it's much easier to catch sluggish fish that struggle in the frigid waters. However, these skilled fishermen must occasionally venture ashore in search of other food sources, granting the coyote an opportunity that should not be squandered. Otters aren't particularly afraid of predators, being capable swimmers and having a dangerous bite, but fearing for their hard-won trophy, they instantly seek refuge in the water, where the coyote will not follow. But then what do we have? The coyote pretends that he is not at all interested in the otter's hard-earned meal, attempting to lull the poor mammal into a false sense of security. This all takes place before the hunter comes out of nowhere and successfully takes its dinner. Overall, coyotes are professional thieves, always looking for that next chance to strike, but this disappearing trick doesn't work for everyone, and some are wise to his antics. Due to their size, hares are also a desirable target, providing more sustenance than a few small rodents. However, their incredible speed and agility allow them to leave most predators in the dust, and coyotes are no exception. A quick change of direction often grants the hare an advantage, breaking the coyote's line of sight, and as a result, the coyote might find himself facing thin air as his prey escapes. But the coyote is not used to giving up the chase, and uses their keen sight and speed to keep after the prey. But he does not intend to wet the skin, and it seems that the hare has somehow managed to survive. Although the clever coyote was able to predict all of this, and the coyote was waiting for him on the shore all along. Now, in this truly dire situation, the deprived hare finds himself staring into the face of death. And in a moment of brilliance, the coyote is able to make the hare the meal he so desperately wanted. The coyote shows a particular interest in swans, incredibly large and far from defenseless birds, and is more than able to take the challenge head on. The hunter cannot resist such temptation, and spurred on by hunger, tries to stealthily reduce the distance. In the hopes of capturing an easy meal, he inches his way closer. However, the birds have seen enough and do not wish to get involved with this dangerous stranger, quickly finding salvation in an ice-free reservoir. Unfortunately for the predator, there are no natural shelters to be found in the open tundra, and it has to rely on all its agility to sneak to somewhere safe and out of sight. Due to their considerable weight, these birds take off with difficulty, but the respectable distance provides them enough time to get airborne and escape his wicked plans. But the water isn't always a safe place and doesn't mean everything has changed. It's just a means to a change. However, swans do not always flee for their lives, for they are fierce mothers and will fight to their death to protect their children. Due to their significant size, they are not particularly afraid even of humans. With its powerful wings, the bird is capable of injuring even larger opponents, so the predator should think twice before continuing the attack. The swan is not going to tolerate such impudence, and is coming right for the coyote with wings ablaze. The coyote, contrary to all expectations, then takes some active action. This is not for show, he is serious. Considering the almost equal weight categories, the bird still manages to escape from the tenacious jaws, and it's unlikely that the coyote will get a second chance at catching the swift bird now that its intentions are known. However, there are times when a predator still manages to take a giant bird by surprise, and the coyote gets his fill for the day. In summer, the passion for birds does not fade, but the availability of such prey is significantly reduced due to melted reservoirs, so even modest-sized coots become a tempting target. Yet, the coyote will take what it can get, even if it's not perfect. It is a part of living, and there is no shame in it. From a respectable distance, the hunter carefully examines potential prey, taking its time to determine the correct course of action. The resourceful coyote doesn't miss his chance, and like a house cat stalking a mouse, tries to get close to the target unnoticed. For the sake of such a rare opportunity, the predator is ready to soak its fur in the muck, because tall coastal vegetation becomes the best camouflage in such conditions, and if they take it slow, they might just win. Even if that coyote were to get its skin wet and cold, it would be all worth it for such a juicy meal, and the world is there to say nothing. It's unlikely that the coyote will guess that waterfowl are too vigilant, because at the slightest extraneous sound, they are ready to disappear from sight in the most spectacular way imaginable. The swift is not only its reward, but its greatest curse. This is not the best way to come about living, but to what end? Fortunately for the coyote, these birds are not so agile on the ground, so he again switches to a desperate chase. Coots, like a swan, require acceleration before takeoff, and a second of confusion is more than enough to catch the prey by surprise, resulting in another happy ending for the clever canine. Coyotes most often hunt alone and do not particularly favor their own kind, not even if it is for more security or if they're friends. In harsh conditions, the prey that one finds becomes so valuable that predators are ready to protect it from strangers with all their might. So fierce battles between coyotes are not at all uncommon. All that matters in a moment like that is the prize in its jaws and what that means for their survival. The most painful techniques are used. The coyote's grip is not as strong as that of a wolf, but the teeth are incredibly strong and sharp, so violent bites can be very dangerous for anyone challenging it, even its friends. When hunting small prey becomes too much of a hassle, and entire herds of ungulates are roaming around, coyotes can form packs where wolf laws reign, cunning replacing brute strength and cunning tactics flourishing. In this way, predators are able to distract the mother in order to take advantage of the moment and drag the cub away, putting them all on the same page in one deadly endeavor, even going so far as to replace the family it had for their own sake. Is this all that nature has to offer? The agile coyote easily escapes the doe's wrath, while his partner effortlessly carries the baby away. The job is simple: you help me, and I help you. Like a pack of wolves, coyotes can also hunt adult deer, and do so with all that the world has to give them. Even the strength of the world is behind them. This female, it seems, is already exhausted by the chase, and is trying to find salvation in the water. But the organized predators do not think of giving up. They again and again try to find the moment to attack, but the prey successfully escapes from the sharp teeth. Is this not an endless challenge that comes with the life they have been set for? Of course, this cannot go on forever, and it seems that the heavy hooves are finding their target, but even such a turn does not confuse the hunters, and they still plan to finish what they started, exhausting the female more and more with every passing second. Finally, fatigue makes itself felt, and when the sharp teeth of first one predator and then the second sink into the prey, it no longer has a chance of surviving the attack. Due to their exceptional speed, agility, and remarkable resourcefulness, coyotes are indeed thriving across much of their range, and it's likely that only larger packs of wolves are able to dislodge them from their territory. Of course, this is unlikely if we do not factor in out of control and unbridled hunting and the ways man takes from nature to provide for itself. Overall, the population of these opportunistic predators is currently stable and is not under threat, a testament to their adaptability and resilience in a dynamic and ever-changing world.